The View has seen its share of controversies, but what happened today left the audience in complete shock. The tension was unbearable, the boos deafening, and then, in an instant, Whoopi Goldberg was gone. What pushed her to the breaking point? Let's take you inside the most dramatic walk-off in the show's history. Daily Magazine News. Early in the morning, in the heart of Manhattan, New York, inside the ABC studios, there was a flurry of activity. The View team was setting up their table for the day's live broadcast. Lights were being tested, and the production crew was making their final adjustments. But today, there was an unusual tension in the air. The legendary host, Whoopi Goldberg, was in the backstage area, having a heated discussion with the producer before the show began. The topic was the day's main talking point, a controversial new political bill and its connection to a well-known political figure. Whoopi knew this topic would provoke the audience, but that was exactly what the producers wanted: high ratings. At exactly 11 a.m., the intro music began to play. The camera panned to the show's colorful table and the panelists sitting around it. Whoopi, alongside Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, smiled at the audience. But her smile was a little forced. Deep down, she was uneasy. The first 15 minutes went by with light topics and celebrity gossip, but then the producer's voice came through the earpiece. Now we move on to the main topic. Joy Behar took the lead and introduced the most heated discussion of the day, the Presidential Election Reform Act, a bill that had been sparking debates across the country in recent weeks. Sunny Hostin argued that the bill undermined democratic values. Alyssa Farah Griffin disagreed, insisting it was necessary for election security. When it was Whoopi's turn to speak, the atmosphere in the studio shifted. Whoopi took a deep breath and began to speak in a firm tone. Look, I've been sitting here for years. I've been in the middle of countless debates, faced all sorts of opinions, but this is no longer just politics. This is about destroying the soul of this country. At that moment, someone in the back rows of the audience shouted, "Wait, cut the nonsense! Who are you to lecture us?" The camera quickly panned to the crowd. Another audience member yelled, "Enough already!" Then a murmur spread, followed by loud booing. At first, just a few people, then almost the entire back rows joined in. Whoopi froze for a moment. The microphone shook slightly in her hand. While the other panelists looked around in shock, the producer's voice came through the earpiece. "Keep going, stay calm." But Whoopi's expression said it all. She had reached her limit. Her eyes hardened. She stood up from her chair and leaned toward the microphone. "You know what? I do this job out of respect. Differences in opinion are fine, but disrespect is another thing. If you're not going to listen, there's no point in me being here." The murmurs in the studio quieted slightly, but the tension was at its peak. The camera caught Whoopi slowly gathering her notes, taking a sip from her glass of water and placing it back on the table. She then stood up, walked firmly around the table, and headed toward the backstage door on the side of the stage. The studio was dead silent. As she walked, someone in the audience yelled, "Come back!" But Whoopi didn't even turn around. She opened the door, and the bright backstage light briefly illuminated the studio. Then the door slowly closed. The silence on air panicked the control room. Joy Behar quickly stepped in and signaled for a commercial break. The commercial music played abruptly, but on social media, things moved faster than the broadcast. On Twitter, the hashtag #number sign, Whoopi walks off number sign, began trending. Within minutes, thousands of tweets appeared. Whoopi Goldberg walks off live TV. Shocking moment on The View. After the booing, Whoopi leaves the table. 15 minutes later, when the show returned from the break, Whoopi was still absent from the table. Joy Behar addressed the situation. "We had a bit of tension, and we hope Whoopi will return to us." But whispers in the producer's room had already begun. "She's not coming back. Not today." In the days that followed, Whoopi's walk-off was discussed for weeks in the television world. Some praised her courage, while others claimed she acted unprofessionally. But there was one thing everyone agreed on. This was one of the most dramatic moments in The View's history. And there you have it, another explosive moment on The View that will be remembered for years to come. Or will it? Remember, this story is purely fictional, created for entertainment purposes only. None of the events, conversations, or reactions you've seen in this video are real. They're all part of a fictional narrative. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another dramatic twist. Until next time, stay tuned for more stories from our fictional universe.